So Jeff, you've mentioned a term that I've heard a few times from you called collective IQ. What do you mean by that?
Well, it kind of goes back to the theme of, how do we digitally activate all these trusted brands in health and wellness. But I think these collective IQs or combined wisdom are going to be very important because I think we need to be inclusive in health. And so when, I think of an expert, I think of it very broadly as a healthcare professional. So yes, we want to have doctors in the conversation, but we also want to have dentists in the conversation. Oral health's, a big part of somebody managing their overall health. We want to have nurses in the conversation. Often they're the first line of defense. We want to have chiropractors because alternative medicine and integrated medicine and other ways to think about your body are very meaningful for lots of people in America. Trainers. One of the biggest issues that we have in America is weight management. And so, how do we start to take trainers and help them be more digitally active? We do simple things that we've tried, but we've had big results with. We did this program called Move It and Lose It, and we had 500 trainers answer 5,000 questions on how to look better and feel better. And that was the information layer, and humanized by each individual. Then we built an application that allowed you to log your food, and there was 70,000 foods in the database. Then we put 1,500 exercises and video in there so you could understand what your caloric intake was versus your caloric burn against a weight loss goal. And what we found is hundreds of thousands of people enrolled into it. They started to build community. They started Facebook fan pages. They lost weight. And we found really quickly in these types of models, as you start to include the Dr. Oz's with the trainers, that if the consumer trusts you, if the program gives you an ROI, that it actually works, and you build community so that you have that support layer, people stay engaged and people get healthier.
So what you just described, with collective IQ is real life. And I think what you're reflecting with collective IQ is reality. So you go to your doctor, you're interacting with a nurse, you go to your pharmacist, you visit the dentist, but you also are going to visit a trainer, you're talking to a physical therapist. There's many people that are involved in your life when you think of healthcare, and I think they're all critical in this ecosystem of how do we do this better.
Well, so you think of you start to put that into practice, and you think of a question like, how do you prevent heart disease? I would like to know what Dr. Oz's point of view is on that. I would like to know what Johns Hopkins' point of view is on that. I would like to know what my doctor's point of view is on that, what the American Heart Association's point of view is on that, what my trainer's point of view is. Nurses that are just easier to access and communicate with personally for myself, what they think.
Right.
And then, what's amazing thing about the consumer is that we're finding that when you line up this combined wisdom and you have multiple points of view from trusted health and wellness brands, the consumer reads every answer, including industries. And that what we're finding there too in this kind of form of knowledge partnerships is that people like Dove know a lot about skincare. People like Colgate know a lot about oral health. And when you put their answers next to these everyday experts, their answers get read just as much as everybody else's.
Well, it's an interesting point because if you think about, for many years ago, we used to have the Good Housekeeping seal of approval. And we've always wanted to have ratings like that so we could trust what is important. And the interesting thing now online is we actually have a different Good Housekeeping seal of approval, and they're called influencers. So we already have people voting every day and showing what's relevant, and everyone already can see it. So really what we're doing is we're kind of creating a new version of that by collaboration and wisdom of crowds brought to you through Sharecare.
If you look at things like Wikipedia, the community governs itself, right? So, you have contributors on Wikipedia and they kind of govern themselves, and if somebody puts up false information, somebody's quick to call them out on it and correct it. And that was really interesting to watch as that expanded globally. We're starting to see that in health now, that even these trusted brands with the best intentions, is a lot of this is still really new for them digitally. And so we'll have one organization like the American Diabetes Association pointing out that this one trusted hospital's answer on diabetes is wrong, just outdated.
Right.
And so they start to really police each other, and I think that is going to be a great way to start to eliminate a lot of the misinformation in health and wellness that's on the web today.